Good morning and welcome to day 43 of my 3,000 kilometer walk across France on the Hexatrek. I've woken up feeling not great. I slept about 3 hours last night because I was sick and stomach sick, and it was truly awful and horrendous. So I've had to make a tough decision, and instead I'm going to descend into the nearest town instead of proceeding the next 45 kilometers, which has very technical trail, some snow to pass, no fall zones, etc. I'm just way too weak to be doing that, so we'll come back and do it maybe one day. But yeah, I'll descend and then I might take a bus. But yeah, welcome to day 43. I always find it so hard to ask for help when I'm sick, and it always makes me so teary. But they gave me some bread, filtered some water, and I think the bus is at 10, so I gotta get a move on. After getting some advice from the owner of the refuge, I began my descent at about 7:15 a.m. My goal was to get to the town of La Glière by 10 a.m. to get the bus. About half of the route was actually descending down the switchbacks I had walked up the day before. The descent was rough. At this point I had about 200 mils of water in my system and about half a slice of bread, and every little trip I had I kind of burst into tears. I thought the descent into town would be 4 kilometers, but it turned out to be 9 kilometers in total, and I missed the first bus. That was a really hard 9 kilometers. And now I wait 2 hours. The plan was to get to Chamonix to stay with Lee and Trevor, and the journey was going to take about 5 hours. That included 1 bus to almost Geneva and then another 2 trains. I'm no stranger to long commutes, however I do tend to get motion sick, so I was a little bit worried. Eventually I arrived at Chamonix at about 5:30 p.m, feeling absolutely exhausted but relieved to be able to spend the night in a real bed for the first time in a month.